Why, hello there, my name is Freckris, and welcome back to Let's Play Dream Daddy. I'm gonna skip over Robert, and I'll put that at the very beginning of when I do Robert's full good story. So, I'm gonna skip him for now, and I'm gonna go on to Damien, because I just think that's the most logical thing. It's probably, Robert's is probably gonna be another one-night stand, if anything. It'll probably, it could be that, or it'll probably be like, look, we can't do this anymore, that type of thing. So, I'm gonna skip it for now. We'll put that in with his full story, at the end, after Joseph. So, Damien it is, right now. We're gonna go on his third date. Ever since we had that picnic in the graveyard, Damien and I have been spending a lot of time together. We go on nighttime strolls pretty regularly. He was so impressed with the first letter I wrote him that he insisted we only communicate by post, instead of through Dadbook. I initially protested, but he gave me one of his old signet rings to use as a seal for my letters, and I just couldn't say no. Hanging out with that goth dad again? Please, Amanda, you know his name. And yes. Be honest with me here, Pops. Is he actually a vampire? I remember you inviting him into our household that one time, and I've seen The Lost Boys, and I honestly would have preferred trying to see if he could have walked through the threshold of our home under his own power. Yes, Amanda, I have become Damien's familiar. I am compelled under his curse. I'm sorry, sweetie. Ugh. Turn into a bat! I don't think... What's the point of being a vampire if you can't turn into a bat? Well, okay, I'm off. Are you taking the car, or are you flying off into the night on the leathery wings of a bat? One of those. While I'm out, can you throw away the garlic bread that's in the freezer so I don't die? That would be great. I'm keeping it there as insurance, you understand, right? That's my girl. Damien and I walk along the water's edge, chatting. Damien's cloak, he hates when people call it a cape. Damien's cloak flutters behind him in the breeze. This is gonna seem like a silly question, but why do goths wear black? Gothic subculture has always been associated with death, so it would make sense that the style surrounding it would be greatly influenced by mourning. Interestingly enough, though, was that in the Victorian era, Queen Victoria herself mourned the death of her late husband for 10 whole years, wearing black for the rest of her life. If that's not goth, I don't know what is. I have another question. Go ahead. How are you so comfortable with death? You mentioned in the graveyard that it helps you appreciate your life, or something? I've experienced several losses over the course of my life, and I truly believe the only manageable way to cope with it is to accept that death is simply a part of living. It's the single universal truth for every human who has ever lived. I am going to die, you are going to die, and life carries on without us. Doesn't that make you feel kind of scared? Not at all. Without the advances of modern science, death was everywhere in the Victorian era, and yet funerals were major social functions. Victorians were obsessed with mementos of their loved ones, even going so far as to take elaborately staged photographs of their dead relatives. Well, that was because, they couldn't afford photos in the day-to-day, so they would just buy the photos for a dead person as a loved one to remember them by, because that's really all they would have. It was really not something that you would spend a ton of money on. It was, well, I mean, you would spend a ton of money on so that you wouldn't have to spend a ton of money on it too often, it was the key. So, I'll stop babbling. The minutiae of mourning was so complex that there were set periods of grieving that were deemed acceptable based on who in your life had passed. Now, we don't have any of that. If you lose someone, you end up feeling lost yourself because we have no modern equivalent of those formalities. We need to allow ourselves time to grieve, to feel that loss fully, but not allow it to consume us. So no, I'm not afraid of death. I believe it's a waste to spend your life dreading the end of it. That time we have here is brief and fleeting and occasionally cruel, but it is at all times precious. To stare death in the face and live despite that, I think is a noble existence. Let's save the mourning for the dead. Wow, that's beautiful. I can see the moonlight in the bay glint off Damien's eyes. The moonlight, it is daytime. He smiles. We turn to the harbor and watch ships pass, breathing in the salty sea air. I look to Damien again and can't help but to be entranced by his charm, his mystery. I find everything about him so fascinating. I lean in closer to Damien, closing my eyes as I do so. I'm so sorry, I have to take this. Damn it! Damien steps away from me to answer his phone. Oh no, I hope it isn't Lucian again. After speaking in hushed tones for a few moments, Damien returns to me. Everything okay?
What?
There's an emergency. Lucian?
Huh.
No, thankfully, but I must take my leave. Oh, okay. Is there anything I can do to help? Dads do have to stick together, right? You know it. Then come, there isn't much time to waste. After a short drive in silence, we arrive at a rundown building on the outskirts of town. Where are we? It's better if I just show you. I push the surprisingly heavy door open to find myself in a dimly lit waiting room. A few rickety chairs line the walls, and there doesn't seem to be anyone behind the front desk. There are a few paintings and pictures on the wall, but they're so nondescript I'm still unsure of what kind of place this even is. I mean, there's animal carriers. Wait here for a moment, I'll be right back. Damien walks off down a corridor, his boot heels echoing through the halls of this seemingly empty building. Distant howls echo from some place I can't see, and there's a faint scratching sound like claws on tile. I cautiously peek down the hallway and find stall after stall of scared-looking dogs. A few of them notice me and skitter up to the chain-link fence, sticking their noses through to sniff at the air. What have I gotten myself into? Suddenly the lights shut off. I panic, unsure of where I am or how I can get out. I stumble through the darkness, my breathing getting heavier and heavier. Damien? The lights finally turn back on. Oh, hello. Hey, sailor. Mary, what are you doing here?
Come on.
You aren't here for the fight club? I don't want to get punched in the face. I'd like to not do that. Great, because this is an animal shelter. A what? We take care of stray animals and then people adopt the stray animals? Didn't you see the pets when you walked in? Oh, sorry, I didn't really expect to see you volunteering at an animal shelter.
Come on.
Wow. Okay, kid, way to put me in a box. Dames, you hear this baloney? Why is it spelled baloney? It's spelled balagna. Just one moment. Thunder cracks and the door bursts open, appearing from the shadows I see... Damien? Hey. It's Damien. He looks completely different. No cloak, no Victorian-era clothing, no makeup. I wasn't planning to share this side of me until much later, but I'm not as goth as you think. I'm a systems administrator for the IT department of a realty company. Realty? Then why are you here? I wear tennis shoes to work and I listen to Bruce Springsteen. I enjoy going to the hardware store and looking at storage solutions, and I volunteer at this animal shelter in my spare time. I'm boring. I'm fascinated with the Victorian history and the goth lifestyle. That much is true. It's just not all that I am, and I need you to know that. Oh, I hate to kill the moment here, but there's some pressing business that needs attending to. Oh, right. It's Duchess Cordelia. Again? Who's Duchess Cordelia? She's one of the pups, gets out all the time. She has somehow learned how to open doors, and now she's unstoppable. When did she get out? This morning. I went to go sing sea shanties to the cats, and when I came back, she had already bolted. I have to stay here with the pets, so I need you two to go and find her. Of course. Where could she be? She always ends up running off to the same places. Here, let me draw you a map. Mary starts scribbling on the back of her pet adoption form. She's very smart, ruthless even. You need to stay on your toes and get her back by sundown, or else she turns into a werewolf and starts eating people. Okay, again, it was daytime out on the lake, but the moonlight glinted off Damien's eyes, but we gotta get back before the sun sets. What is going on here? What? You're a perfect little peach, Freckris. We just don't want her to be stuck outside when it's cold. Oh. I'll grab some treats and we can hit the road. Damien and I look over the map Mary created for us. Oh man, I'm Nerd's house. Nerd. Mary's sick pad. Smalls. Dames. Other Nerd's house. Mario Batali. Kale. Coffee Dad. Kale. Who's Mario Batali? I guess that's... Oh yeah, I guess Brian kinda does look like Mario Batali. Who's the other nerd then? Anyway. At least you're not other nerds' house. Looks like you're moving up in the pecking order. Congrats, kiddo. Where should we head first? Cul-de-sac, coffee spoon, softball field, bayside, aquarium. The ocean or whatever. Are these places that like... She didn't actually mark on the map, like, where the dog goes. She just drew a map of the area. Let's start with this cul-de-sac, I guess. Damien and I exit the parking lot and start driving toward town. I look over to him. He seems concerned. Shouldn't be too hard to find the Duchess, right? She's a pretty big pup. Mary wasn't kidding when she said that dog was smart. One time, she correctly guessed the winner of the Kentucky Derby. It was a really great year for Bark Bark Bark. That's cute. I don't know. What do you think our odds are, Freckris? This'll be easy, gotta stay positive. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. Gotta stay positive. My dad once told me, Freckris, you can't shove raisins up your nose. And that hurt my feelings. I felt discouraged, but I kept a positive attitude. And you know what? I made it happen. Ew. Might have landed me in the ER and forced me to have 10 golden raisins removed from my nasal cavity, but on that day I learned that anything is possible if you have a good attitude and abnormally large nostrils. Young children really are resilient, I suppose. Haha, yes, young children. I was 17. 16. Let's just hope for the best. We got this. We drive through the cul-de-sac and everything seems to be pretty normal. Looks like Brian's doing some yard work. We pull into Brian's driveway and hop out. Hey, don't step on the grass. I just mowed. Have you seen any unusual activity in the area today? You see something, you say something. Aside from your underwater lawn? Ooh, here we go. How dare you? I take my lawn care very seriously. No. Freckris, please. You haven't seen a dog run through here, have you? Well, a little while ago, I heard Maxwell barking at something. When I came outside, my garden had been torn to shreds. It's gonna take forever to retill the soil. That could be a dog, or rather feisty raccoon. Whatever it was, it must have been hungry. Ate all my tomatoes. Uh-oh. Very sorry to hear about your garden. If you need assistance restoring it to its former glory, please don't hesitate to contact me. Will do, buddy. Good luck finding that dog. She's probably still hungry. I wonder if she's looking for more food elsewhere. Alright, well, we checked the cul-de-sac. She's not there. I guess coffee spoon. We park in front of Matt's coffee shop and walk inside. It seems like a slow day. Matt sits behind the counter reading a book. Hey, Matt. Didn't expect to see you two today. What's up? Have you seen any stray dogs around? Actually, yeah, I caught one digging through the trash earlier. It ran away when I tried to get closer, though. Did you see what direction it ran in? Matt thinks for a second. Might have been running east, I think. That pup tore through 3 pans of old grateful banana bread. Want to take some for the road, just in case? Sure thing. Mac packages up a slice. Thanks for the slice. The road slice. This banana bread is gonna be so good. I think he meant to give it to you for the dog. Give it to you to give to the dog. Anyway. Right, I meant it's gonna be so good for the dog to eat. I guess. I feel like we're on the right track. You think? If we keep this up, we'll find Duchess in no time. Hey, if you like dogs so much, why don't you have any? Lucien is severely allergic. I wouldn't put him through that. Plus, there are still dogs in my life, so for that I'm grateful. There's about to be one more dog in your life, buddy. Splendid attitude. Let us not waste any more time. Verily. Alright, so east. East of the coffee spoon. Well, that doesn't help me. The ocean or whatever. I get... Bayside. Let's go to the aquarium first. Damien and I stopped by the aquarium. Everything looks in order here, but it might help to get out of the car and take a look. You seen anything? No dog here. Not even any sign of her. Did you know that penguins are considered the goths of the sea? Damien, I want to believe you so badly. I think you're full of shit. Okay. I guess go to Bayside? We arrived back at the Bayside. Just like old times, eh? I remember it as if it was yesterday. I mean, earlier today. So what do you think? Any sight of the pooch? None yet, although who knows if she made it onto any of those ships. The Duchess would do that? I wouldn't put it past her to know how to navigate in rough seas and without a compass. Very smart. Paps? Damien and I turned to see my daughter. Amanda, what are you doing here? Did you think I just stayed inside all day vegging out on the couch and watching TV? Oh, sorry. What are you doing? I'm heading home to go veg out on the couch and watch TV. Had to get a burrito first. Young miss, have you seen a dog around here? Oh, you bet. I saw a Pomeranian with a bow around its neck. I saw a big old Doberman named Henry. There was a stroller full of Yorkies, a Greyhound, a Golden Retriever. Did you see a Mastiff anywhere? No dice. I would definitely have remembered that. Gotta run though. This burrito is about 10 minutes before the cheese breaks down the molecular structure of the tortilla and makes it all soggy. You understand. I do? Oh. Of course. Have a lovely evening, Miss Dudester. Matt said the Duchess went east from the coffee spoon, but there's no sign of her here. I suppose we need to go not so east? Alright. I fear the hours are growing short. We must make haste if we're to find the Duchess by sundown. Damien's looking more stressed out by the minute. I gotta think of something to lighten the mood. What kind of dog does a vampire have? Knock knock. How many goths does it take to screw in a light bulb? Let's go with what kind of dog does a vampire have? I would imagine it would be unwise for a vampire to take up the company of a smaller mammal for the means of companionship. It would be too tempting to... A bloodhound. I was gonna say bloodhound, Damien. Oh, yes. Darn. Jeez. Keep reading Damien's directions from the map as we drive around town. Okay, well... The softball field's the only place I haven't been. We drive to the softball field. It looks like Craig's team is practicing. I wonder if any of the kids saw something. Craig spots us and jogs over, a softball bat slung over his shoulder. Hey bros, what's up? Craig, you wouldn't have happened to see a dog around here, have you? One escaped from the animal shelter and we're trying to locate her. I don't think so. Maybe one of the girls saw something. Girls! Hi, Amanda's dad. Hi, Lucian's dad. We have names. Girls, have you seen any dogs around? There was a big dog here earlier. She ran off a while ago, though. I don't think she had an owner, but it really wanted to play. We've been using she this entire time. Anyway, we tried to play fetch with her, but she just took the softball and ran. I think she ate it, actually. She was a lot of dog. Here, take another softball. Might come in handy later. Many thanks, Craig. Alright. I guess... Maybe back to the cul-de-sac? I don't know. We arrive at the cul-de-sac to find everything looking normal, except... Uh-oh, Hugo's front door is wide open. She can open doors. This is classic Duchess Cordelia, a telltale sign. We should approach with caution. Oh, I guess Hugo's the other nerd. Whatever goes down in there, I've got your back. We creep up into the porch and step inside. Oh, hello, puppy. There, sitting in the center of Hugo's living room, like she owns the damn place, is one of the biggest dogs I've ever seen. Woof. Well, she hasn't broken anything in here yet. Wonderful. Now all we have to do is get this leash on her before she tries to escape again, and get out of here before Hugo comes home. Easy peasy. Duchess, come here. The Duchess eyes Damien warily. As he approaches, she begins to growl. She's on her guard. We'll need another plan. Hand her a dog treat, try the softball, give her the banana bread. I reach into my pocket and pull out a slice of grateful banana bread Matt gave me. Duchess sniffs the air and hones in on the bread. Come here, girl. Nice and easy. Got some yummy, homemade, vegan, and possibly gluten-free banana bread, if that's what you're into. Duchess cautiously approaches me and gives the bread a good sniff before gently taking it from my hand and dropping it on the ground, like dogs always do for some reason. She curls up and starts munching on the bread. Success! Damien walks up behind Duchess and attaches the leash to her collar. She immediately notices and starts whining. It's time to go home now, Duchess. Damien gives a tug on the leash. She won't move. Duchess, what happened to our rapport? You and I used to be bosom buddies. She still doesn't move. She's huge. There's no way we could even try to lift her. Well, this is a weird situation to be in. I think we're literally trespassing in our friend's house with this large dog. What are you nerds doing? Ernest stands in the doorway with a plate of pizza rolls. Don't tell your dad, we're definitely not trespassing. What flavor pizza rolls are those? Can I have some? Don't tell your dad, we're definitely not trespassing. Looks like you're trespassing. Well, yeah. Just looks like that. Damien, what are we doing? Trespassing? You do me in like that? You do me in. You just threw me under the bus. How dare. That's two bads from Damien. That kind of sucks. Duchess notices Ernest and starts pulling against the leash. Why is this dog in my house? The Duchess suddenly breaks free from Damien's grip and hurtles towards Ernest. Oh no, ah! Ernest and the Duchess fall to the ground. Pizza rolls fly everywhere. This is bad. Ernest, are you okay? Ernest feeds the Duchess a pizza roll. Hey, she likes pizza rolls! Of course she does, she's a dog. Ernest sits up, but the dog keeps licking his face. Oh, hey. Hugo stands at the door, looking like he's at a loss for words. Why are you guys... Whose dog is this? It's a long story, but it involves a large dog who knows how to open doors. Boof. Hugo, may I present to you Duchess Cordelia? How do you do? Morph! We're friends! The Duchess licks at Ernest's face. She's from the local animal shelter. She's got out and we've been chasing her all around town. Your house was her final stop. Dad, can we keep her? Ernest, I don't know if we're set up to take care of a... Wait, did you just call me Dad? Come on, please, look how cute she is! Hugo sighs. We had been talking about adopting a dog for a while, but you have to promise me you'll take care of her. Yeah, I'll give her all the pizza rolls her little heart desires. I suddenly remember what's on the back of this map and pull a pen out of my pocket. Aw, got the forms ready for you if you're interested. I'll even waive the adoption fee since, you know, we technically broke into your household. Well, alright, it's a deal. Hugo steps into the porch with us and signs the form while Ernest plays with the Duchess inside. He sure seems to be happy with his new friend. Oh. I know, he called me Dad, can you believe it? Damien places a hand on Hugo's shoulder. I certainly can. I think this will be really good for Ernest. It should teach him some responsibility. You should probably look into getting better locks on your doors, though. The Duchess is a wily one, but do right by her and she'll love you two forever. Thank you. Aw, I got them a dog! And long story short, the Duchess now lives in a happy home, and neither of us were charged for breaking and entering. So all in all, I think it was a fine day's work. Nice work, you two. Freckris, you can be a valuable asset to our team of volunteers, you know. If you ever feel like petting some puppies, hit me up. I always feel like petting puppies. Mary, I always feel like petting puppies. Good to know. Well, I'll catch you fellas later. Mary starts to leave. And one last thing. Damien's been telling me about you. Glad he finally brought you around. Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Damien's my special boy. I love him. We go way back, and I got a vested interest in his health, success, and well-being. If you ever hurt him... Mary, you can fill in the blanks. I gulp. Yes, ma'am. Mary leaves me alone with Damien. So, about the whole goth thing. I, completely understand if you aren't interested in me anymore. What? Am I missing something here? I'm not a cool goth prince, I'm boring, I own 5 pairs of tennis shoes, I wear dumb glasses, don't you care? I love them. I wear dumb glasses, it's cool. He looks so nervous. Damien, do you really think I only like you because of all the goth stuff? That's all cool, but the best thing about you is how passionate you are about the things you love. History, art, Victorian fashion, dogs, storage solutions, doesn't matter what it is, you care and it's awesome. And also, the glasses are very cute. You don't think I'm boring? If you're boring, then I don't know what that makes me. I spend too much time online shopping for flashlights. I get excited to mow my lawn on Saturdays. I get cranky about commercials being too loud. I've even been thinking about making my own peanut butter. Then maybe we can be boring together? It would never be boring if it was with you. Aw. Damien suddenly closes the gap between us and pulls me into a hug. He buries his face in my shoulder. His hair smells like lavender and rosemary. I was so scared you wouldn't like me. Quite the opposite. Damien pulls away for a second and looks me in the eyes. Without the colored contacts, his eyes are so dark and soulful. They look like they're honey. Here. May I kiss you? Aw. Does a bat have wings? Thou art welcome. I like does a bat have wings, that's cute. Ah, I believe I have my answer then. He smiles slightly and leans in, giving me a gentle kiss. Damien pulls away and gives me an intense look. Do you want to help me take care of the puppies? Of course! Absolutely! Why did you even ask? Damien and I arrive back at the cul-de-sac, our fingers intertwined. Like a proper gentleman, he walks me to my doorstep. This was lovely. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for everything. I'm very happy I can be myself around you. I'm glad, but I have one request. What's that? Can we keep sending each other letters? But of course. Damien kisses me one last time before turning around and heading home. Amanda runs back to the couch from the window and tries to look as nonchalant as possible. Hello, Father. I was sitting here on the couch this entire time. Hi, Amanda. So, are you guys, like, starting a vampire coming together? Oh, plot twist. Mothman. Damien's actually Mothman. Good, I love Mothman. He's fuzzy. Didn't see it coming either. Genius. Well, whatever's happening, I'm really glad you two are happy. You deserve it, Dad. Aw, shucks. I'm gonna head to bed. Catch you in the morning? Sure thing. Make my way to the room and fall into my bed with my heart full, excited for the days to come. Date complete. Oh, so his eyes are supposed to be, like, purple. I got some good dad points, though. Yes!
Simply marvelous.
It's an 8 at least, that's good. I'll take it. Interview with the vampire. Alright. I walk over to Mary, who's having a lively conversation with Amanda. We have a real fluffy Samoyed right now. His name is Harold, loves belly rubs. He always tries to lick your face if you get too close. Miss Christensen, thank you. Miss Christensen, thank you so much for telling me in great detail about every single dog currently at the animal shelter. Please tell me about the Afghan with the 3 legs again. Hey. Sure. Quadra, we call him. It's one of those ironic nicknames. You know, if you're really interested, you could probably steal one for you. Really? Nah, I could get you in to meet all of them. We always could use extra hands around the shelter. And if those extra hands also just happen to steal a dog, I'm glad you two are able to bond over cute dogs. Really warms my heart. Dad, we're having a moment. Hey, Sailor, your kid's a good egg. Where's your goth prince? You two are usually attached at the hip these days. He's around. Stellar. Mary turns her attention to Amanda. It's not too hard to sneak a dog into college. Trust me, I did it plenty back in the day. At one point, I had 3 cats living in my dorm. I decided to leave them to it. All of a sudden, a huge dog leaps into my arms. Duchess! Hugo and Ernest run up to me. The Duchess gives my face a few broad licks and hops down. We're working on that. Got her in a disciplinary class. She's a wild spirit who runs where she may. I don't mind at all. Looks like the 3 of you are getting along nicely. She's a valuable addition to the clan. If I hold up my homework in front of her, she'll eat it. Cool. We'll deal with that later. Duchess Cordelia spots a squirrel and darts across the yard. Ernest follows her, laughing. He's actually been a lot more manageable lately. I think taking care of the dog is good for him. Thanks for breaking into my house, I guess. Anytime. I turn to spot Lucien walking up to me. Yes, Lucien? Thanks for inviting me to your party. Anytime, bud. I know we had a rocky start, but I'm glad to know you. I hope you know how much your dad cares about you. Yeah. My dad's had a rough couple years, and I know that it must not have been easy to raise me alone. He's kind of a weird guy, but I love him a lot, and it seems like you make him happy. So, you're cool in my book. Thank you, Lucien. That means a lot to me. Sure. And let me know if you want me to give you a stick and poke sometime. Thanks for coming by, Lucian. I don't need your dirty tattoos. See you around, Freckris. Take a seat next to Damien as the last guest makes their way out of the party. Did you know that in Victorian era they would call benches seaty boys? What, really? I'm kidding, Freckris, but what if? It's good to see you in your civvies again. Thank you. I had a revelation the other day, Freckris, and I think it was largely due to your continued influence upon me. There was a version of myself that might have been embarrassed to show you my true form, my information technology form. But what you said about me, about how my passion was that you truly admired, that emboldened me to feel like myself regardless of how I choose to dress and act. Instead of separate entities, they are simply different facets of myself, a three-dimensional human being with his own thoughts, wants, and needs. I love dressing the way I do, but feeling constricted by what I thought was my own personal brand made me lose sight of why I did this in the first place, to make myself happy. I place my hand on Damien's, and I feel a light squeeze. Looking up, I'm greeted by Damien's warm smile. I'm trying to be more comfortable with who I am, rather than dwelling on who I could be to other people. I can't stop smiling. I'm so proud of him. Damien, I'm so happy you've realized that you can be a dog-loving goth. Me too, Freckris. Me too. I feel myself inching closer and closer to Damien. I go to brush a lock of his hair out of his face, and I'm shocked at how soft it is. How is your hair so soft? Dog shampoo. I keep running my hands through his hair, and he leans closer to me, placing a hand on the side of my face. He strokes my cheek with his thumb. You know, public displays of affection were considered scandalous in the Victorian era. Damien pulls me in for a kiss. But I think I can make an exception for you. It's not public, we're in my backyard. Good times. Okay. So that was... I think that was the good ending for him. I'll take it. Even though I messed up the last one a little bit. Not too bad. I mean, I still got an A. Yes. Do I paint you like one of my French girls? I love it. Alright, so that was Damien's story, or as much of it as I'm going to get, and I hope you enjoyed all the doggos and the puppers. So thank you very much for joining me. Check out annotations for other videos that I've done. Share, subscribe, and socialize, and all that other fun stuff in the YouTubes down there. Hopefully I'll see you in my next video, and my freckly face is out of here. Bye!